Well, my family has been in coffee since the 70s. I've grown up around the business. So in the 80s, we were actually in the US because we were exporting to the US Philippine coffee. In the 90s, we got into coffee roasting. So the business has been around me. My dad never really pressured me to get into the coffee industry, but it's something that I've seen. And I literally run around seeing this growing up. You know, being in school, you got to stay up, work hard. I drink a lot of coffee growing up. When I was working, I was drinking a lot of coffee. And when I just got back here, it was like, let's see what this is about, because maybe, maybe it's time to become a businessman and get out of the corporate world. I was also burnt out. I mean, I gave it my all and it was taken away first from me and it wasn't my fault. But I blame myself actually when it was nothing to do with me. Part of it was I was driven by this desire to start something of my own also, and have control over my destiny.
Is that how you came up with the brand Kickstart?
But when I came home, we were doing institutional and non-branded coffee. So you go to a restaurant and you order coffee, then you get served coffee. You don't really know what brand that is. I told my dad, it's like, we have great coffee and we really should put it out there so people can enjoy it and we can get into the B2C part of the business. Because we were all B2B. Everything was B2B. And, I think people would like to have our coffee and be able to buy it in places. Because growing up, I would bring coffee to the US and it would just be in this plain foil with a sticker of the company. I bring it to Hong Kong. I give it to friends and they're like, oh, where can you buy it? It's like, oh, we make it made to order and we supply it to other businesses. We're in the B2B business, right? I wanted to have something that we could give out and be proud of. And Kickstart, the name Kickstart, so you can see Kickstart Coffee, is because you kickstart something new with coffee, right? Whether it be a meeting, you're drinking coffee, you have a date, you go out with your family. It's something to start off a good conversation. It's, coffee is a stimulant. It gets you going. So literally and figuratively, kickstart something with coffee.
What were the key success factors in the business? What were the right decisions that you made back then?
Well, if you're talking about when I first started, we had to really I took what my investment banking training, because I worked in corporate finance we did mergers and acquisitions and debt and finance raises, like IPOs. So a lot of what we did for clients was competitive analysis and really taking a deep dive into an industry to see who the key players are, what are their strengths and weaknesses, where can we fit in, which parts of the market we can be successful in. And I think that's important to take. Any business you do, you have to understand your market before you get into it. And then when you understand your market, I think you have to understand what problem you want to solve, whether it be through a service that you want to provide for that market or a product you want to put in to serve that market.
So you went through this whole exercise, maybe you did like some kind of like a SWOT analysis, looked at your competitive factors, maybe your key competitors, right? And how did you find that gap in the market? What was missing?
Well, initially, I tried to do more about selling B2B. And I found that actually our own company was not strong in that side. It was hard because we weren't as big as the other ones we were going head to head with. But the coffee business is you need scale, you need machinery, you need capex, and you need a lot of stocks. And we didn't have the size of the other guys we were going up against. So it came also from a business need where we had to pivot and say, look, like we can't compete head to head. Let's put up something and find that niche.